With us now is Bonne Marcus, and Bonne Marcus is an author. She's also a business owner. She's an entrepreneur. She's a fabulous woman, and just like me, she's been widowed. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to bring you my dear friend Bonne Marcus. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Fit to be Bride. Let's talk about that.
So Fit to be Bride was born out of the inspiration from my niece. She was getting married. She was overweight, and she asked me for my help because I've been in the fitness industry for 30 years. I was also overweight myself, so she knew that I had been there in the struggle, and I knew how to get her where she needed to be. I have always been a freelance writer, so I've been writing for bridal magazines since 2001. So this was just a natural progression. And I started working out with her. Actually, we would meet once a week, and then I would work out with her through the internet. So we would email every day, check in with me. I would write her workouts, and then she would check in with me at the end of the week. She lost 80 pounds.
Unbelievable.
It was pretty amazing. Sadly, you know, the end of it was mostly because of stress. Her uncle, which was my husband, had a stroke 2 weeks before her wedding. So obviously stress is a great helps people lose weight, unfortunately, not the right way. And sadly, he passed away the day before the wedding. So
here you had worked with this bride, and you got her so fit, and her glorious moment, you had to go to the wedding, and
I
you
didn't
didn't
actually
go.
go. I
I was
didn't
going to
go to
say,
the
and you
wedding.
weren't able to go.
No.
And because just your heart just was broken. I totally get that. Like, so when things like this happen, and you're helping somebody overcome a challenge like this and losing all of that weight, right? What was that phone call like when you told her that what had happened? So
Well-
here she's celebrating something amazing, and you're celebrating something not amazing.
Well, so it was pretty interesting because we had just celebrated our 7-year wedding anniversary at the end of September. We had just moved into a new home, and we had our housewarming party, a birthday party, and our anniversary. And so she was at the party, and a few weeks later, he had the stroke. So it wasn't a surprise that he was going to pass away. We had made the decision to put him on palliative care and honoring his wishes. So she was prepared. I guess I was kind of grateful that he passed away the day before the wedding and not on the wedding. 'Cause
Okay.
we'd be at the wedding thinking, is today the day? Is today the day? And I couldn't be there at the wedding, but I know that they had a memory table of him. And I know that that day of the wedding, on Facebook, I know my Uncle Larry is with me. And, I was so happy for her. They didn't talk about the death at all. It was all about the wedding, and then Sunday was the funeral. So they let it go for that one day.
And then here the book was born.
And actually,
So something good happened out of a challenge in your life.
the book was handed to my publisher the week before. Like the last edits had been handed in the week before. And the inscription to my husband was actually handed in the week before his stroke. So I was so glad that everything was in there because truly he was my greatest cheerleader. He was the reason he said, well, why don't we try to get the book published again? And, he
And
wanted
here it
to,
is.
yeah, he wanted to actually have me self-publish it. And he's like, I'll market it for you, which is what he was. He was a marketing guru, a salesman, and he was like, we'll just do it ourselves, which kind of led me to the next part of my life, which was being an entrepreneur.
Yes, let's talk about that.
So
There is life after widowhood. Let's just be honest. It's not easy, right? But we carry on.
well, you carry on. Like the first few months was definitely in denial. I was definitely in denial. I had to move out of the home that I was in. I had to shut down his business. So I was busy. Like you're busy, you're just moving. And then you wake up one day and you're in your house by yourself and you're like, I have nothing to do today. I think I'll start to cry. And that's what I did, literally for 24 hours. And I got it out. And then the next day I woke up and I was like, okay, well, he's still always going to be with me, but what do I have to do next? And what I needed to do next was find a home for all of the salespeople in my husband's company.
And how many did that number at the moment?
We were a sales and marketing company through an affiliate program. So in the 3 years that my husband had his company, we had about 50,000, independent affiliates in the business at one time or another, whether active or inactive, but they needed a place to go. I needed to bring them somewhere because I didn't want to leave them abandoned. And they kept asking me, well, what's going to happen with the company? I'm not my husband. I couldn't do what my husband did, and there was no way I could keep the company going. But I did find a better company, something that was fueled by my passion, which is fitness and nutrition.
Excellent. And now that's called what?
It's called Sizzle, S-I-S-E-L, yes, Sizzle. And it's a wellness company. It's run by a man named Tom Maurer, and his mission is just that life is filled with toxins, and we want our life to be as toxin-free as possible. So every product that they make, from shampoos to cleaning products to makeup to nutraceuticals, are all made by them in a warehouse in Utah. Everything is toxin-free. The products are pretty amazing, and they're kind of right up my alley with fitness and nutrition.
And you feel that support now of the community, like people support you. You know, I think the hardest time is sometimes when you are widowed, you feel so alone because, especially when you're young, like we are, people aren't really widowed that young, right? And it's hard. So I remember crying in the shower. Sometimes it's been 10 years, I'll still cry in the shower because like you're crying and then the water runs it down and then all of a sudden you dress up, you're okay, you get yourself out of it, right? So I think for us, and correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you feel like now you're at a point where you almost can be a conduit for healing for others?
Well, it's true. I actually teach exercise classes at the JCC in Roslyn, and I went back to work shortly after. And I remember one of the women saying, "You're okay." And I said, "Yeah, I'm okay." And I remember them asking me every single day, "How are you?" And it was one of those, "How are you?" And after about 3 weeks, I had to say, everybody has to stop asking me because I'm going to tell you I'm fine, but I'm not fine. But I'm fine, and I'm here to do my job. And my job is to serve you today, to give you a fitness class, to bring you out of whatever you're doing, and I'll deal with what I have to deal with later. Now, there are mornings I get up and I'll walk into the gym, and there are 2 women that take my class that are also young widows. So they know if somebody's giving me a little bit of a hard time and I say to them, "Today's just not a good day."
Yeah, don't.
And then
Today's not
they
the
manage
day.
to kind of wink at me or smile at me, and I get through the class. And obviously, exercise changes your chemistry, it changes your outlook, it changes everything. So I always feel better after I teach.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And that's your secret to success.
That is the secret.
Yeah, waking up, having a smile on your face, and just going for it.
Yes.
So, is there going to be a Fit to Be Bride too?
There will hopefully be a Fit to Be Mommy,
Okay.
a prenatal fitness guide.
Excellent.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll be staying tuned. Thank you so much for sharing your journey and your story and for being so authentic with us. I really, truly appreciate it.
Thanks, Donna.
Because I told you what's our job? Our most important job is to inspire others, right?
Right.
So live it up. Okay. Stay tuned for more on Live It Up. We thank you for watching. If you have a story you would like to share with us, we'd be honored to tell it. LiveItUpTVShow.com. Thank you.